To everyone else, it was just an ordinary blood coin. But in Bond's eyes, it was the key to freedom. A simple-looking metallic token that most ignored, but for Bond, it was a calculated weapon. The beginning, a coin and a plan. In just 5 seconds, Bond gulped down 10 kilograms of blood coins, a move that would horrify any onlooker. The guards watched, confused. Then, as if fueled by rage, Bond started doing push-ups, perfect, powerful ones. He kept going, performing hundreds, then thousands without a break. He didn't visit the washroom for 3 days and 3 nights. His stomach churned from the heavy metal. When the pressure became unbearable, he ran straight to the prison canteen and devoured loads of food. This wasn't hunger, it was strategy. He wanted his body to revolt in front of the jailer. When the jailer arrived for routine checks, Bond threw up blood, real metallic blood. Horrified, the jailer immediately sent him to the medical room. The inside man, a one-armed inmate. In the medical room, as the nurse prepared a drip, Bond pretended to suffer from unbearable stomach pain. To avoid any mess, a cleaning inmate was assigned to assist him. Unknown to anyone, that inmate, seemingly harmless with only one arm, was actually Bond's ally. They both proceeded to the washroom without raising suspicion. Once there, Bond quickly hid a bottle of medication. He climbed onto the steel toilet and removed hidden tools stashed in the ceiling. His ally blocked the door as Bond unscrewed the urinal with a crowbar. After hiding the tools and returning the urinal to its original position, they picked up a lidless wooden plank. They attached the plank beneath a waste truck. With barely enough space, they squeezed in and camouflaged themselves so well that even the reflection mirrors were fooled. Within moments, they rolled out of prison unnoticed. Freedom and the blue car. As the garbage truck crossed the prison gates, the 2 escapees remained silent. Once the truck reached its destination, they removed the wooden plank, crawled out, and vanished into a waiting blue sports car. Bond had successfully escaped. But this was only the first phase. Inside the prison, the rest of Bond's crew was waiting for the signal to execute the next part of the plan. Chaos in the prison. One of Bond's men provoked the prison's top gangster. Soon a violent brawl broke out. The jailer, panicked, hit the emergency alarm. The prison went into complete lockdown, including the medical room, keeping the outside world from discovering Bond's escape. The jailer wanted to seek help but hesitated, fearing for his job. When he attempted to contact superiors, he tried to negotiate with the prisoners, let the guards go, and he'd improve their meals. But Blakey, one of the gang members, wasted no time. He smeared soy sauce on his arms, signaled the team, and ordered the CCTV cameras to be covered. Windows were sealed with foil. No one could see inside. All this chaos had one purpose: letting Walter White sneak back into prison. Walter's true plan, the biggest heist. Walter never wanted to escape. His real mission was to stay inside and recruit Ali Bai, a powerful inmate, for an upcoming heist. Their goal? The largest robbery of the century, stealing millions in cash rewards from the World Racing Championship. Due to the size of the event, the cash was transported through a pipeline into an underground vault with high security. Walter had a master plan. He reached the race venue and bought a packet of gummy bears, not to eat but to build a bomb. He and his team crawled into a garbage chute and reached the basement. There, Matt was already waiting. An exposed pipeline was in plain sight, but they couldn't carry explosives past security. That's when the gummy bears came into play. Walter combined them with bleach pens and other household items to create a makeshift bomb. The team was skeptical. "Will it actually explode?" someone asked. Walter smirked. "I'm Agent 07, retired," and began explaining physics. No one understood him, but they trusted him. They placed the bomb inside a tin, inserted it into the pipeline, and waited. But there was no explosion. Walter checked and found the lid had been tightened too much. He fixed it and tried again. Boom! The pipeline exploded. The mouth of the vault opened wide. Vacuum looting. Now all they needed was a powerful vacuum cleaner to suck the cash directly into bags. The team celebrated as the plan worked flawlessly. Cash began flowing into the bags. But suddenly, Smoke from the blast reversed through the pipe and reached the cashier's desk. The cashier saw the smoke and reported it to headquarters. Though no alarms were triggered, 2 guards were sent to investigate as a precaution. A close call. Downstairs, they ran into Jeff, who was transporting cash. The guards asked if he smelled the smoke. Jeff replied, "No, we both lost our sense of smell as kids, some genetic condition." The guards found it odd, but let him go. They were just inches away from millions of stolen cash hidden in trash bags. Moving ahead, they noticed smoke stains in a room. They opened the door and found an old maintenance man smoking inside. Smoking was strictly prohibited in the tool room, but he didn't care. Why? Because he'd been paid off, enough to retire comfortably. The smoke issue was dismissed, and soon the vault was emptied. The money was packed into garbage bags and smuggled out via garbage trucks. Once outside, the looters dressed in casual clothes, posed as tourists, and disappeared into the crowd. Bonds returned to prison. Meanwhile, Bond and his ally were preparing to sneak back into prison. Inside, Blakey gave a signal by making a gesture with both hands. He pulled out 2 pencil leads, wrapped them in toilet paper, and caused a short circuit to start a small fire. He placed the burning trash can near the gate to trigger the smoke alarm. Bond and his partner, already dressed as firefighters, hid in a corner. When the real fire brigade arrived, they silently climbed into the truck. The fire truck unknowingly brought them back to the prison. As the firemen rushed to extinguish the fire, Bond and his ally quietly slipped back into their cells. When the firefighters found only a small trash fire, they shrugged it off. The mice in the cell watched with amusement. Everything seemed under control. The aftermath and a mysterious clue. A few days later, the nurse found Bond calmly lying in bed. To everyone, it seemed the plan had worked flawlessly. But soon, a police agent visited the warden. During his investigation, he discovered that one worker who had recently served 90 days in jail used to work at the racetrack, the same jail where Bond was kept. The agent grew suspicious. When he asked the warden if anything unusual had happened that night, the warden denied everything to save his job. The agent pressed further, pointing out the fire alarm. "You really believe 2 prisoners escaped, robbed the racetrack, and came back without you knowing?" The warden nervously replied, "No. I can tell you this, we don't have an escape problem in Dero. There was no proof." So the agent had to leave empty-handed. Bond's disappointment, and a twist. Soon after, Bond was officially released. It seemed everything had gone perfectly. But then came the real heartbreak. All his fellow looters disappeared, including his own brother. The next day, the news showed that stolen cash had been found in a garbage truck. Bond was crushed. After everything he had done, he was left with nothing. But then one day, he found an orange-colored shovel outside his door. He thought it was a joke, until a memory flashed. He remembered the same color shovel from somewhere. He began digging under the orange swing in his backyard. Sure enough, there it was, a black garbage bag. That's when it all made sense. His partner hadn't taken all the money. He had hidden some just in case. Due to a signal jam, the organizers never found out how much money was really stolen. In fact, the insurance claim gave them a profit. And Bond, he finally had a second chance. A new life. A quiet, powerful end to a chaotic, brilliant plan.